I'm not one of those like, oh, I dreamed about marriage my whole life. Nah, like I'm very independent. I to this day have never had a boyfriend because I was like scared of commitment. I'm like, I like my independence. So I'm actually on the opposite end.
Right.
So I know when I'm get married, like your girl has thought this through and she's ready.
Yeah.
Hi, welcome back to our channel.
I'm Susie.
And I'm Vanessa. And this is
Mom and Daughter Talk,
where we hope to inspire,
encourage,
and uplift
your
your
mother-daughter
mother-daughter relationships. Thank you for joining. We love y'all. Happy mid-September, okay? So, if you're watching on YouTube or the podcast, yay! Ding, 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 ding. Oh, we've done that before. Anyway, so this time we just want to have a mom and daughter literal conversation.
Okay.
And kind of see what comes out of it, y'all.
Or like touch base, you know?
Yeah, touch and agree.
Because, actually we live in the same house. However, we're kind of far apart where like sometimes we find each other texting each other.
Oh, from like different rooms.
Yeah.
Oh.
Because you're kind of at the front of the house. I'm at the back of the house.
Or like we're just so dang busy we don't get to sit and talk.
I know.
Yeah.
We should sit and talk a lot more.
Yeah.
I have a question for you.
Okay.
And this is that classic question of what do you see yourself in doing in 5 years? Where do you see your life in 5 years? Imagine. What would you say for you?
Where do I see my life in 5 years? 5 years, I will be 30 years old. I'll probably be married. Might have a kid. And I'll be living that mom life, I guess.
What does the mom life look like to you?
Not the traditional one, I would say. Just, just the way I feel I'm built and what I enjoy and all that. I guess, to me, I don't think you can really work around, or I don't think I would probably work around, like, not hanging out with my child, or, like, like, I don't think I will be, like, probably a stay-at-home mom at first. But over time, I definitely see myself working, being an entrepreneur, doing something, building a business. Yeah, I don't know where any of that energy is going to come from, but that's what I hope that's what that would look like. That's what I want to do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's funny because when I first had you, I thought I would want to go right back to work after 6 weeks, because I like work and things like that. But I ended up staying home with you for like 6 months to a year because I was like, I can't leave her. I'm in love.
Oh.
Yeah. And so I was a stay-at-home mom for that time. And another reason too is like sometimes you work and you pay for someone as far as the child care, and it was almost like numbers wise, why don't I just stay home and raise my own child and save money on the child care? I'll pay my own self.
Oh, it's expensive, huh?
Yeah, it can be. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It just, and really at the time I was married and it was where we were able to do it financially. So that was really cool. Yeah.
That's just another thing. Yeah. Who knows well, financially, I'm going to be stable in Jesus' name. And then obviously if I married my husband, we have talked about that and he got something coming in because I ain't about to marry somebody who ain't got a job.
Could you see yourself marrying someone that makes less than you financially?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's no problem. Because once we're married, we're a team. So what I got, you got. What you got, I got.
Okay.
Yeah. I ain't talking about, the bank accounts and all that stuff that people like to go into. Actually, bank accounts, let's talk about that.
Okay.
Well, I don't want to get all in your business, but you can share what you want. But for me, I feel like when I'm married, like one bank account, obviously. But then we both have our separate accounts as well for like fun money or something. Because I don't know. I hear like money is also like either the number one or number two
reason. It is
reason.
the number one reason. Finances. Yeah.
Why people split is finances. And I think you can avoid the little arguments if you have two separate accounts where you guys are spending the money that like the equal money for like fun stuff. You don't have to tell the other person or whatever. Because if I want to spend it on some shoes and you want to spend it on some biking gear, to me, I'm going to be like, well, why do you spend your money like that? Why don't you spend it this way? And to them, it's like, you don't need some shoes. You already got some.
So you feel like it's like proactive as far as preventive medicine.
And then I watch Dave Ramsey, and I think I
That's what they recommend?
Okay, I'm not going to say that. I don't know if I got it from him, but that just made sense in my mind. But like the main bills and everything, like, yes, we will put that in the pot.
Yeah, I think if it works, it works. So it depends who you
Everyone's
marry.
different,
Yeah,
that's true.
absolutely. And if it works for you guys. When I was married, we just had one joint account. However, I do think that I agree with you. I think I would like my own separate account. And I would like him to have his own separate account, meaning, certain, and we know how much is in there, and
Spend it as you will.
spend it as you will. I'll probably take it and I might invest it or, do whatever. I think where it goes a little awry is the motive of it. Meaning, like, I've heard some women say, well, you always want to keep something on the side in case something happens.
Oh my gosh,
Like,
That's true.
I'm not sure if that's a good mindset to go into a marriage with, you know what I mean? So yeah, but if it works for you, then it works for you. Meaning you and your partner, you and your husband,
Yeah, but you need trust, obviously. And
absolutely.
then also, I was talking about this in class. Like, what's your definition of marriage? Because I think I know people have different definitions of marriage. Some people don't even want to get married, which is perfectly fine. But I was telling them, like, I feel like it's imperative when you're dating somebody to ask that question.
What's your definition of marriage?
Yes, because you may go into a marriage and to you, I'm married, like this is it. And somebody else, it's like, well, I always wanted to be married. It just sounds good. But like, if it doesn't work out and, you do a little something or the big something, I'm out. Like, people's value on that word, it's a range.
Yeah, I think not just that word, but anything, you should be in agreement with that person. You know what I mean?
But there's certain things you're not going to ask. What's your definition of X, Y, and Z?
Yeah, maybe you may not ask it in those words, but through their actions and other things they say, you should probably get a gist of, or don't marry them just yet until you are on board as far as what your, like I said, expectations and your definition of marriage is.
So what's your definition?
Never quite thought about it like that.
See, people don't think about those things, and you get married, and it's like, wait, we didn't think that was the same thing.
When I think if I were to say like a synonym for marriage, I would say covenant.
What that mean?
I'm about to tell you.
Okay, go ahead.
To me, covenant is more than a contract. Covenant, like when you look at historically, it was usually done in blood. So meaning like it's a deep thing where like, I guess it's a promise, but I see it even deeper than that. Meaning like I'm willing to lay my life down for you. And I'm willing to sacrifice and give of myself for your betterment. Because I always say, you know what, if two people are in it and they're both givers and that's their position, then it's a win-win situation. It's just when one person takes more than another, then it becomes, unequal. It's kind of like a seesaw, right? Both parties have to have kind of equal weight and things like that. If you have a 300-pound man and a 50-pound child trying to do a seesaw, the child's going to be up the whole time, right? So, it is about that balance. But when I think of marriage, I think of a covenant where you are willing to, like I said, put that other person before you. And then, oh, bless you.
Thank you.
And if the other person feels the same way, then it's a good thing.
Yeah.
I think of marriage as that you're no longer single. And I know that sounds obvious, but really, like mentally wise, you have to know that it's going to take some compromise. You know what I mean? Like you can't make plans to go, out with your friends for the weekend or go away for the weekend without not asking for permission per se, but to make sure that you communicate, you know what I mean, with that other person and making sure that things are worked out, that you are able to do that. So it's always about considering the other person as well and not just making autonomous decisions for yourself. Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
Ooh, and I heard one time, like, marriage is... People think, like, just because, I got married, like, now I'm a wife. Like, it's more of, like, a role than, like...
A position?
We don't realize, like, the function changes, or the function should change.
What's your definition of marriage?
Dang, you just threw it back at me, I guess. It's one of the biggest decisions you can make in your life. So it holds a lot of weight to me.
Yeah.
And the person that I'm not going to be quick to marry somebody. And like you said, it's not just a piece of paper to me. It's definitely sacrifice. It's definitely it's when I get married, that means for me, I am ready to put me to the side and put somebody else's needs like above me. Mm-hmm. Because we're now a team, and when you're not good, that means I'm not good.
That's good.
And that takes a lot of maturity, spiritual, mental, emotional, and I'm sure physical maturity. I don't know what physical maturity is, but it's gonna take a lot of maturity, and I'm not, oh my God, I'm not one of those like, oh, I dreamed about marriage my whole life. Nah, like I'm very independent. I to this day have never had a boyfriend because I was like scared of commitment. I'm like, I like my independence. So I'm actually on the opposite end.
Right.
So I know when I'm get married, like your girl has thought this through and she's ready.
Yeah. I think it has to be aligned for me as far as purpose. I have to see myself being able to do something for the kingdom with this person. And if I don't see that, then it's kind of like, okay, what's the purpose? I mean, I understand, people don't want to be alone, but to me, that's not enough. That's not enough at this point in my life. I need someone that I feel like together we can be a powerhouse. You know what I mean? And that we fit as far as purpose-wise. Because I feel like God is a very purpose-driven God. And if I want someone that whose God's stamp is on it, you know what I mean? Meaning his signature's on our relationship, and that means that we have to be aligned purpose-wise.
Yeah. So you want like a purpose partner.
Yeah.
Someone you can do purpose with for the kingdom.
Yeah. Some people may, think of marriage as like one of the main purposes to have children. Obviously, I'm not at that stage. And so for me, it's not about, I've never thought that though.
You didn't want kids.
Yeah, it's a miracle you're here today. Don't you? I always felt like that wasn't the main reason. I mean, I guess when the earth was first created and God was like, be fruitful and multiply because there was no people on the planet. Yeah, I guess that could be one of the purposes. But yeah, I always felt like it was not just about having kids.
That must have hurt for Eve. My gosh.
What, too?
I don't know how many kids she had, but dang.
Well, you can ask her when you meet her.
Okay, cool. I'll keep that in mind.
Yeah, I'll remind you.
Yeah. Well, I guess we're just going to talk about marriage.
Oh, okay.
Cool. Well, we hope that you enjoyed. And what's your definition of marriage? Maybe think on that. If you're dating somebody, if you're interested in somebody, ask them what their definition of marriage is.
Yeah, make sure you're on the same page before you step into it.
Yes. And that's the thing. And if you don't want to get married and they don't want to get married, y'all on the same page. Cool. Live your life.
And don't do it.
Yeah. So just make sure you're on the same page.
Marriage is a choice.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's
not a command. It's a choice.
You can live and die and not be married. It's okay.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Oh, are we live?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay. You keep looking at me. Why don't you look at the camera?
Oh. Because we're having a heart-to-heart conversation.
All right. Well, we'll talk to you later.
All right. Have an amazing day. Bye. See you next time.